Hi everyone, I am co-hosting the Holt Up Radio Show with Molly Ann Holt, and we are live from my command central desk, if you will, to host the show today. We're going to just recap a little bit about what is going on today. We are doing how it came about, how sales have been, how how it got started, like I said, and just a little bit of a recap on the whole month of working with Molly Ann Holt and her crazy, energetic world that she lives in. It's been a lot of fun. I have my helpers with me, as you can see here. That's Rubs, and that's Isabel taking a bath over there. My partners in crime. They help so much. They really do. As you can see, they're having just a blast doing the radio show with me. Okay. Again, the RotNot. As you can see, I have them here as well, sitting there. I actually have them as my camera holder for my computer. RotNot, up and close and personal. Just a little thing. I'll even get my fabulous tape measure out and show you. Only 8 inches long. You can't see this. 5 inches wide. And only 3 inches high. Just a little thing. But it can hold a lot of weight. Like I said, it's very sturdy. It's very with the whole 4 legs, it's got holes in the top to let the rain go through. And there's a lot of rain sometimes here in Oregon and Minnesota, and they're going through it now. Too much rain, but gotta get it done. Can't complain. It's definitely makes those vegetables grow and everything else, and we need it. We always need the rain. So holes in the top to let the water go through, holes in the sides to let the rain or the air go through, keeping your melons dry, and sturdy up top. We have little video or pictures today since we're not out in the garden. You got melons over here on the top, and different kind of, like, I'll say this is a watermelon. I'm sure I can't see it through the pit. And pumpkins are down here. You get just a wide variety of melons you can put on there. I mean, you get watermelon, cantaloupe, pumpkin, squash, muskmelon, and anything. I mean, anything that has a vine, anything that has, you have to turn and send you a copy. Okay, I'll send you a copy. Gosh knows I have a few. Yeah. Molly did my fantastic PDF the other day. Got it all done. Pictures are amazing through here. And if you need to get contact me, it has RotNot.net. It has. Yeah, we have Lynette. How you been? It's been a while. How you doing? Yeah. Okay. What do we want to talk about? What do you want to talk about, Molly? What do you want to talk about today? We got. We have like I said, the recap. We're doing the recap of the show from this past week. We are doing. So many sales this so many sales this week. It's been great. I love it. I was at a wedding last night, and as I'm sitting there, all of a sudden, boom! My phone blew up with from Salina, California. Oh, my eye is just twitching today. I'm so sorry. It's just been bugging me. So we got orders coming in as I'm sitting there, and I absolutely love that. I love the comments coming back and forth. on my page as well. People send me comments how their RotNot's doing, and then they put it on Amazon. I love that. I love getting feedback on Amazon. So if you do, that's one thing I want you guys to do. If you have bought them in the past, if you have them sitting there in the house or sitting there in the garden, how are they doing? I want to see pictures. I want to see review. Give me a review on Amazon for sure. I mean, I definitely want to know how I'm doing, how shipping is, whatever else. I was gonna show you guys today. There's my fancy brand new label maker that I weigh them here. I print them there, and as you can see, I'm lining them up like crazy right here. The ready to go, purple and orange. Got my envelopes and boxes ready to go, and my helper, yeah, she looks thrilled. I overworked her, clearly. I overworked her. Okay. Send us your website and copy. Okay. The RotNot.net is I wish I could do this on the computer instead of my phone, because I can just type so much faster on my computer than on my phone. You put that out there, Molly. RotNot.net is the website, and they're on Amazon, they're on eBay, they're on Etsy. So get out there and get yours. You need to get these for your garden. They have been amazing in mine. Well, not this year, as you, I don't know if you can see out there. My garden isn't much. There's, I actually planted trees in my garden. I have lots of rock. I'll show you out here. I have lots of rock there, and way down there. I'm building a driveway, and when I'm done talking with you guys, I will be starting that driveway. Morning, hi Misty. Afternoon, I should say, not Misty. Not morning. Sorry. What else we got going? Okay. Last week we were in John McCarty garden, and Steve Hawk. Steve's Hawk. He's got crazy watermelon and cantaloupe that are out of control in his garden, and he was using them upside down like this in his garden to do blueberries and picking blueberries. You can put I have, oh my goodness, in my kitchen I have strawberries and blueberries and grapes, I think, in them. I just use it just like this, flip it over, rinse them in the sink, and just start eating. It's the easiest thing to do, to grab them from your garden and just bring them in the house and rinse them off. What else we got? You know, it's weird. I haven't showed you you guys this picture yet, but a friend sent me this. You can see it on here. I'll get it real close. The middle picture is for the florist in your world that can actually do that. That's absolutely gorgeous. That he just takes a little green frog and set it underneath. I mean, I don't think of stuff like that, only because I'm not a florist by any means, and use that, use the holes in the top right here, and just start putting your plants in there, and it is just a great way to have, you know, a floral setting on your table. I mean, if you don't have, I mean, you can put, oh, my story. Okay, hold on. We'll get to that just in a second. And do, you know, a little floral arrangement and whatever, and it's a great idea. My story. Oh my goodness. Back in 2007, I thought of the RotNot. It was, I had a garden, a little 12 by 12 garden, and I didn't. It was like Minnesota. I lived in Green Isle, Minnesota. and I didn't know I was supposed to turn the melons. I had no idea that. I just thought you just set it and forget it, you know. And I next thing you know, I picked up all my cantaloupe and all the bellies fell out, and I'm like, I can't be the only one with that problem. I did not know that you were supposed to turn them. And okay, you know, I get it now. And so I literally was sitting. I was working for the DOT at the time. I working hard, as you know we do at times. And we were sitting on the side of the road waiting to get started, and I thought, you know, I'll just draw it out. I'll just draw it out, and I drew it on a little piece of paper, what I thought. And if you know me at all, I can't draw a stick man straight. So the product that or the idea I had in my head and what I brought to the table, I went to InventHelp, and InventHelp is, they're all over. They're online. They're, hi Monica. They're online, and they, just about every state has one. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% on that, but I went to the one in Minneapolis, and I went with them, and they said, you know, it costs so much money to get this done. So I didn't know what to think. I was like, oh my goodness, it's or $14,000, you know, that I needed to come up with to get this started. And I went, I just don't have that, you know. I'm like, I have this idea, it's really good, and so I didn't know what to do. So my mom, she actually gave me the money to get started, and she definitely was a lifesaver, because it just blew, you know, it's what I wanted to do, and so I got that started, and next thing you know, they started a patent search. They did, hi Tracy, they started a patent search, and then it takes a while. It takes a few weeks to get that done. And hi Nicole, and so we got you get a book. I don't know where. I don't think I have the book right here. I'm looking for it right now. I don't think I have the book, but in front of me. But basically, they do a patent search. You pay them X amount of money to do a patent search, and they do. They come back with either yay, nobody else has this, or no, you know, there's somebody else that has this out there. And at the time, nobody had it out there. So I went, all right. And so we went and did the patent. And like I said, that was $15,000 to start. And the patent search and the patent, it's quite a thing. So every little design in this RotNot, okay, the holes in the top, the little bit of a dip, the side, the arch, how big the arch is, how, you know, underneath, and we made this out of 50% recycled plastic, so it's considered green, it's recyclable, and it's made in the U.S.A. It's made in Minnesota. So then after the patent search, I went to, originally I went to an Impact show in Vegas. They had a show that displays all new inventors and stuff like that to big corporations and stuff like that. So I was, oh goodness, I had actually a lot of interest in it, but they didn't want to give me royalties off it. They wanted to buy it outright, and I thought, I worked hard for this. It was 6 figures. I'll give you that. I'll give you what it was, $190,000. A company offered me originally, but I mean, I wanted my name attached to it, and they didn't want to do that. So I was like, sorry, I want to be able to show people what, you know, I want to be a part of it. It's my company, and I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to do this myself. And yeah, I eventually want somebody to buy, you know, the RotNot from me, but I also want, you know, the royalties. I want to be able to keep the patent. I want to be able to join forces and have a say in what my product does, and not be shipped overseas, and not be, you know, changed. I don't want it to be changed. So I I'm very proud of the fact that it's made in the USA. A man, I brought it finally. I brought it to a guy, Brian Gillick, in Glencoe, Minnesota, and in Glencoe is a very small town. It's really small. And Green Isle, like I said, Green Isle, where I grew up, was only like 7 miles or 6 miles from there. And so I'm glad it was local at the time. That was really important to me too. And the Brian, he didn't even want to look at it. He didn't even want to see it until we signed, and which is important in any business situation, which I learned that sign a non-disclosure agreement with anything that's not patented yet, or even, before it's patent. Because I didn't have the paperwork back yet from the patent office, so I couldn't sit there and go, yeah, this is mine. But if he didn't sign it, or if I didn't sign the non-disclosure agreement, they could take it from me. And so I didn't. I'm like, no. I didn't want that. So I signed it, gladly signed it, and I knew right then and there that the guy was legit. I knew, because I had a company before when I got back from the Impact show that wanted just a handshake, and he wanted, and he didn't want to sign a non-disclosure. And I thought, in that, that gut feeling you have when you talk to somebody that they're not honest, or they're not legit in any way, and they're shady. That's the feeling I had, and I went with it. And thank goodness I did, because in the Impact show in Vegas, they offered me $6,500 to make the mold, and the company that I went to in Minneapolis, they thought they saw this little shy, naive girl coming, and they said they wanted $36,000 to make the mold. And I went, what? No, you're not, no. And they said, let's see this, thing that you want to do. Without even knowing what it was. And they wanted, they refused to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and that wasn't good to me. I knew that right there was a no, and I literally just walked out the door. I didn't even, I didn't even say goodbye. I just left. So that's what I said. I got with Brian Gillick, and he's a really good guy. He signed a non-disclosure. Next thing you know, he wanted it to make it sturdy enough, because the demo was really thick. I don't have the demo. It's in a box in the spare bedroom, but the mold was the prototype was a very thick, heavy duty, and we wanted to make it lighter. We wanted to make it so that there's the mold itself wasn't stackable right away. So he wanted to make it lightweight, easy to use, sturdy, heavy duty, and like I said, I literally can stand on one. And if you look at my video the other day, last Sunday, I stand on one, and I'm a big girl, and if it can hold me, it can hold any cantaloupe, watermelon, pumpkin, squash that you have. And that's, at the time, let's just say I wasn't as big as I am now, but I mean, I wanted to be so that you, as a customer, can feel good about a product that that if I sell it to you, that it won't break. It won't have to, you won't. I don't recommend you, anybody, standing on them, since they, I don't want anybody to twist an ankle or whatever. But I wanted it to be a quality product that I give to you. I didn't want it to be, made with cheap material, and it's a waste of somebody's time to sit there and try to shove off somebody that isn't a high quality product. So that's what I am very proud of, and like I said, it's a very well made from like I said, the design from Brian Gillick I was very impressed with, and he made it out of the mold itself. The actual mold is made out of aluminum, which will cool faster, which makes it easier to produce more, basically. And so I can do up to 4 a minute, which I someday would love to have bigger one that has maybe 4 to 6 cavity mold that can put more, obviously more out. But right now, one works. We definitely have. Oh my goodness! Since I started, you know, the first ones we did was 2,500, and I sold them over the winter in Minnesota, from September to September. September is when they came out, and of 2011, and over that winter, I sold 2,500 of them around the town of Greenough, Minnesota, and surrounding areas like Gaylord and Arlington and Young America. And I thought, you know what? I have something here, because if you know Minnesota winters, which I'm sure you've heard, and the ones in Minnesota definitely do, you're not thinking about gardening. You're not thinking about gardening until, you know, maybe March or April, and it has definitely been. It was just like, wow, these people really get it, you know, and so I was down at the post office quite a bit. Mrs. Ott knows all too well about how many times I was down there, and sending them off to whoever, whether it was, and actually the companies in Gaylord and Arlington bought a lot as well. But anyway, back to, after I got done with Brian Gillick, we went to Taurus Engineering in White Bear Lake, and oh, those guys there are a lot of energy. They have a lot of things going at once. Oh, ain't they pretty? All over. They do. Brian does things for them, like brain surgery tools that they use and stuff like that. Literally complicated, intricate devices that they use, and so I thought, is this the place for me? You know, I didn't know, because mine was so simple. My RotNot was so simple, and I thought, you know, I didn't know if this was the place for me or not. And I started talking to the guys, and they're just so down to earth. They're so, if you ever need something done, those are the guys to, you know, get the product out there, because they listen to what you have to say, I wanted it out of recycled plastic, and so the products they use, you know, make that happen. And so I was very happy with the results. And so Kevin and John there at yes, as I probably do need to contact with Robert. These guys are so, like I said, they listen, they sit down and listen to what you want, and it's not like they tell you what your product's being made out of. You tell them, and they work with you, and exactly, I love it. I love that they sit down and are a part of it, but you're leading it, and that's important to me, because, like I said, I want to have a part in what I give to you guys, and that's important to me. So, what else? Well, the RotNot, the name RotNot, I originally came up with the name Fruit Tea, and I just thought, you know, fruit on a stand, okay, fruit stand, fruit tea. But people thought, you know, that it would resemble like a golf tee or a football tee, and they wouldn't really take it for what it's worth. And so, all right, and so then I thought vegetable. But vegetable or fruit stand, you're gonna, if you Google that, you're gonna come up with every name but that, and I didn't want that either. So, my mom and I sat down and thought about it, and her mind was quick. It was very quick-witted, and she's like, well, what about RotNot? She goes, it's doing what it says. And I went, you know, it does. It does say that. You know, it is exactly what it does. It prevents RotNot. So that's where we came up with that. And, you know, she's looking down and she's loving it. She loves that I kept the name like that, and she was a big part. Like I said, she was a big part of this whole process, getting it started, believing it, you know, involved with it in the first place, and that's important to me too. If you have a product and you truly believe, or you have an idea, let's say that you have an idea, and the idea you were really passionate about, and that you gotta have a lot of support. And sometimes, you know, when I first started, there was guys at my shop that I worked with, you know, that thought, you know, this is a crazy idea. There's no way this is gonna work. And there's ones that thought, you know what, go for it, Chris. There was a lot more guys that I worked with at the DOT that thought, you know what, you go for it. You're crazy enough to literally, if you set your mind to it, you're gonna do it. And I did it. I thought, you know what, I don't care what anybody thinks. That's my whole thing. Is it's kind of how I live my life in general. Everybody can have an opinion. Everybody, as my as my mom used to say, there's an ass for every seat, and that's true. You have to literally live the way you want, and if you worried about everybody, what they thought or what they, you know, I truly believe that if you worried about everybody else, you'd be literally looking back like this and tripping over yourself. So you got to look forward. Hi Patricia. Been a long time since we've sat down and talked to Terry. Hi Terry. But yeah, I live my life that way, where you literally, hi Alexa, you have to be strong, and you have to look forward. You can't be always looking behind you, otherwise you're going to be tripping over yourself. That's how I see things. That's how I've lived my life, and I believe that nobody is going to hand it to you, and I believe you have to go out there and get it for yourself. If you want something bad enough, you're going to go out and get it for yourself, and that's what I did. And Alexa, we were just talking about Mom. Alexa French here knows my mom very well. She lived down in Tennessee with her. Yes. And not with her, but down the street from her, whatever. And same town. And yeah, I do. I definitely miss my mom. But she has, like I said, she came up with the name. She backed my ideas 100%. Always talking about it. She'd always tell her friends about it. Oh, and I love that about her. She was always by my side, even though I was in Minnesota and she was in Tennessee. She was always by my side. We talk every day. Yes. Yeah, I love her too. Yeah. She really was. She just believed in it so much, and like I said, yeah, you gotta step out of the box. You gotta, if you want something in life, you gotta step out of the box and grab it, because nobody's gonna hand it to you, and you gotta work hard, and it's you know, it's just fun. This whole process has been fun, because like Molly and I were talking about, we're doing this radio show, this Molly Holt Up Radio, to help people that start out in business, that they don't have really a mentor to tell them, you know, what the process is, how to the step by step. There's no real step by step per se in business, but in a way there is. There's, you know, you got to have the idea first, and then you got to, you know, find out who is going to help you along the way, because there's no, I feel you can't do a business by yourself without some kind of help to help you along the way, just starting out. And it's just, my mom was one of those people that just literally, she thought the idea was a good one, and she said, everybody has that problem. And I'm like, I know. I said, you know, there's all over the world. It's not just the United States. It's not just Minnesota. It's everywhere. And, you know, not the really rocky terrain or anything, but they still sit in the dirt and the mud and whatever else in the most parts, and so I literally have had, since I've started on Amazon, Amazon. Since I've started on Amazon, the sales have literally been across the country. I mean, I love that. I love that because it's. I've never been able to, before Facebook Live, I've never was able to get it to other parts of the country, and they need to be there. So I mean, it definitely does, because in the South and even North too, Midwest, they all have the same problem, and so knowing that I can help that, that's just priceless to me, because it's something so simple. And it's been, like my friend, there's a guy in Green Isle that says, of course it will work. And I said, why is that? He goes, because somebody bottled water one day, and who thought that would ever work? And sure enough, it's bottled water, it's working. Who would have ever thought to do that? So like I said, there's a problem all over. It's a simple problem, and so okay. Once again, the holes in the top let the water go through, and it's designed with a little bit of an indent there, as you can see. The melon sits on top when they're young, and the holes in the top let the rain go through, and jeez, throwing them around, and then the holes in the side let the air go through, keeping the bellies dry. I don't have the watermelon on it right now, but I'll get there. Hi Lori, long time no see. I'll be seeing you in August, by the way, Missy. Anyway, like I said, they're very sturdy, very you can hold a lot of weight. So where are we at, Molly? What's next? We got them in talking about the manufacturing. Oh, Joni, look who missed popular. I definitely get. Oh yeah, Alexa, I'll see you there in August too. Yep, Tennessee. So anyway, where are we at, Molly? What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about. Well, Amazon. Like I said, back to Amazon. We got. Order, like I said, all over the country. We've been getting, the last one was Selena's California, and before that was, I mean, we just orders every day. I love Amazon so far. That's been definitely a great move on my part. And I did, at first I didn't think, it took me a while to get on Amazon, because, like I said, when I first started, like I said, back in 2011, the orders were, even though there are 2,500 of them, when I first did the manufacturing of them, it was only 2,500, and then I bumped it up to 10,000, because I thought, if I can do 2,500 over just a few months of winter, or well, I shouldn't say a few months of winter, but winter in Minnesota, I can do a bunch. I mean, I can do a lot. So I thought, all right, well, so far I've done 4 runs. This will be my 5th run of RotNots, and 10,000 each. So that's a lot. That's a lot of RotNots. And so, but I want. I'm greedy. I am. No, I'm not. But I'm blessed. How's that? I'll use that one. Because I am, though. I love the fact that you guys enjoy them. Like I said, what I want you guys to do is, when you get them and you use them in your garden or use them in the house, because you can use them in the house to rinse strawberries, blueberries, grapes, whatever. There's so many uses. I found so many uses. I mean, I had, just to show you, I had all my stuff. I have it over there now, but I dumped out. But I usually have literally my pens in one. I I had my little stopper for my phone. I mean, I set them in there. I have pens. I have a staple thing in here. What else did I have in here? My thing for my phone, my square. I mean, it's just something to keep your desk clean. I mean, I literally have all my stuff sitting, and I set it off to the side so I can use this one to, gosh knows I had plenty. But, and I actually have my phone sitting up against my camera. That's where I have my camera for my other things there. Yeah. Thanks, Misty. Appreciate that. Yeah, the story behind it's just like I said. I wanted it to. That's another thing. Like I said before, I wanted to keep it local. I wanted to keep it in the United States. And like I said, I wanted to keep. I wanted to help the other businesses too. In Minnesota at the time, and so. I mean, I wanted to, like when I say keep it local, I wanted to help the other businesses that were around my area and, stuff like that. And the Brian Gillick, he really is, he's just a great guy. And so then like I said, we went over to, and Brian does, he takes his stuff from the molds that he makes that over to John and, Kevin at Taurus Engineering. Now that I moved out here in Oregon, they still do my things, but I mean, I have them, if I want more RotNots, whatever else, I can drop ship them to Good News Gardening. I can drop ship them to Hood River Supply and Sawyer's and the Dows. I have 3 all L's garden centers towards Portland, and Yard and Garden Land, I believe, in Vancouver. So, I mean, it doesn't matter where they are. So if you're a company that has, that's another thing. If you're a company that wants the RotNots in your store, you can tell me and I can have them ship them to them directly. So that's another thing I like about it is I can be the middleman, or I can be, step out of it and let them guys just do directly, which I love. And so most of the places that you go to, like Taurus Engineering, though, sometimes they can make the mold themselves, and then they own it, though. What I like about how I did it with Brian Gillick is he made the mold for me. So I own the mold. I can take it out of there and I can bring it from Minnesota. I can bring it and bring it here. Where if I had it, if a company makes it, then it's theirs. You can't have it. You can use it, but you can't own it. And I own it. So, but I left it there only because I left it in Minnesota at Taurus Engineering, mainly because I have 30 stores there, and it was just easier to drop ship them there than to ship them all the way from Oregon to there. And trust me, I'm working my way, around here, but I have, 6,000 of them in my pole barn, so not like I'm going to run out anytime soon. But I also, it's nice to have that. I like the inventory now, like I said, and I could drop ship them. I could do drop shipping from Amazon too, but it's just easier for me to do it here. I like being involved. I like the busy, so I can do the same as Amazon's doing. Drop ship them to you guys. Like I said, yesterday I was at a wedding reception in town, and I was getting messages on my phone saying that somebody ordered them in California, and I'm like, great, that's perfect, I love it. Love that I can sit there and be mobile and actually have orders coming in, and knowing that when I get here, I mean, I literally type it out on the computer, print it out, print the label out here, and literally go. I'll show you guys quick what I'm talking about. This is my helper right here. Yeah, but no, I have everything set up, ready to go. I have all these in different colors, you know, different, and then all the bags and boxes that I need ready to go. So I just fold them up, and this is just one set. If I want more, I put them in these boxes, or there's bigger ones under here. So these boxes for like 2 or 3 sets, and then bigger ones for more. But you get these, and you fold them up. You put your, there's ones going to Blazing Bagels. Blazing Bagels is coming, wanting some, and I don't know if they're gonna. They didn't tell me, but they didn't. I don't know if they're gonna do for their business. Like I said, for, you know, if you flip them over like this, you can put your bagel and your sandwiches in there. I think they might be testing them out. I'm not 100%, but if they're gonna be sent to a business, I'm thinking that's what they had in mind. But instead of being at home, I don't know. You know, you can use them obviously in your garden. You can use them in the house. I use them, like I said earlier, to rinse strawberries, blueberries, grapes. I put just for my display things, I have the little parchment paper in there, and I use. I can put cookies in there. It's just a variety of things you can do with them. I mean, I say it's like duct tape for girls, because it truly has been. It's just so many different things. What else? A lot of, that's what I also want you guys to do. Hi, Delina. I also want you guys, like I said, to take, when in your garden, or whatever ideas you guys can come up with them, I would love to see the pictures and send them to RotNot.net, or even post them on my RotNot page on Facebook, or send them to me directly on Facebook at just Chris Bossy at Facebook. I'd love to see the different pictures. I know Kimber Dunn has sent me pictures of her garden, and she's come up with some crazy ideas too, where she sets the whole potted plant, say if they're, so it's a better drainage, so it's not sitting on the ground. The potted plant itself is not sitting on the ground, so she sets them up on her RotNot, and I think it's a great idea. I think it just gives it better drainage or whatever through the plant, through the pot itself, and then out the bottom of the RotNot. So yeah, that I didn't think of that, but that's also a great idea, you know. And so then we went to like I was saying, we went to John McCarty's garden last week, as you saw in the videos on Facebook there, that we went to his garden. He's got a lot of cantaloupe and watermelon, and the wife had, she had her own, it was cute, she had her own little garden off to one side, and she had pumpkins over there. So it was 2 separate little gardens, but it was all doing the same thing. He had just melons all over the place, and I loved it. I gave him some of the irregular ones, just because he's was close here, and I was driving down the road, and I didn't have time to go back to get the regular RotNots, and the regular ones just had a little bit of, like, say, this piece missing, and I can't sell them to stores, or, you know, to people in general. And he had so many. I just said, I have these ones, and the, you know, I get those from the manufacturer when they're switching out the colors, like if they're doing from green to yellow or whatever, and not all the whole mold is hot yet, and so they'll have you, they're either going to throw them away, which you get charged for, or you can use them, and you can still use them in your garden. So just know that too. If you have a product that you're doing, and you're doing a mold, there's going to be waste. There's going to be waste, and they're going to charge you for that waste. So instead of being charged, you can actually get that back, and, you know, use it in your own way. Like I use, I obviously don't use the brand new ones in my garden. I use, you know, they're, you know, deformed or they're not fully done or whatever. So I actually use them in my garden, but not this year, because we just moved here this year, and this this garden I didn't get up yet. I've been doing so many other things with this house that or the land actually. We got cows, we got a pig. Anyway, so what else, Molly? What else you got over there? You got are you still on here? Are you still listening? We're gonna still talk about how it got going, right? Is that what we're doing? I think she fell asleep. She must have fell asleep, people. Let's wake her up. So what else? We got to invent help. We did the invent help. My mom got the name. We got the mold itself. We went to the manufacturer. Now we're gonna put it in stores. It was in the stores. When we first put it in stores, it was hard because people didn't know what it was. You know, they literally didn't know what the RotNot was. I'm trying to find. I'm gonna look up some pictures here, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the pictures I had from back then of different companies that would put up signs for my RotNot. You know, where are they? You think I'd be more organized than this, but truly I'm not. Oh, we did, you know, for the breast cancer awareness, we did shirts, and I love the shirts for the breast cancer awareness. Let's see here. I think that right there says it all. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think that was one of the better shirts we did. The breast cancer awareness groups. They thought it was amazing. They loved it as well. We got your front and your back. That's a good one. And I love that the melons are strategically placed on the shirt, and so on and so forth. Let's look here. Trying to find a picture that had the picture of in Minnesota was it was of one of the garden stores. They had we sell RotNots. I mean, it was simple. It was a simple sign on the marquee. It was a simple sign saying that we sell RotNots. And people would be like, well, "What's a RotNot?" So they'd go in there, and I think it's a great advertising because people are like, they'd go in there and they go, "Well, what's RotNot? Do we need one?" And people would explain what it was, and maybe they did, and maybe they didn't. But as long as they were there, they would buy, you know, dirt, or they would buy something, seeds for their garden or whatever else. So I think it was a great advertising tool, and it just brought people in. I mean, it was brilliant, I thought. And so I went to different places, and they started doing it. So yeah, it was good. So then what? We did, like I said, Shark Tank. Let's go to Shark Tank for a little bit. No, it hasn't aired yet, and okay, so in May, so they don't, what the deal was, they don't, even though they have new shows, they still have shows that they have done in the past, and they use those as fillers. They'll use, you know, they'll use them in certain, where they if a person gets a deal ahead of time, or and then the show airs or something, or the show doesn't air yet and the person gets a deal from somewhere else and then they don't want to be on it, then they use fillers to fill in that show. So it doesn't matter when, doesn't matter necessarily when it was taped or whatever, because they'll still use the idea. So in May 2012, I went to Chicago, and they have it was at the Embassy Suites, I believe, in Chicago, and they did okay. They had a big room full of people, and you basically it wasn't Mark Cuban and Mr. Wonderful. It was literally a bunch of 24-year-old people that you prayed to God knows what a heck of RotNot is. And it was like, how do I know that this is going to work? How do I know that this is, that they're going to even see this? So basically you sit there and you tell it to a 24-year-old kid, and then if they like it, they bring you out to LA. So basically, you don't know that when you watch the show, you don't know what's going on until they don't know who you are until you walk out on stage. And I like it that way too, because then they don't have a judgment on who you are and what you're doing or what your product is, and you have to explain it to them. Well, the people were taking too long in this group thing that we were doing, and they literally came out. The producers of the show came out and said, you guys got to tell it in 30 seconds or less, because they're getting bored. They're getting bored. They would be bored and they'd say done. They don't want it. So people were scrambling, erasing things, scratching out things on their sheets of paper to going to explain to how they were going to present their product to these people. And I literally was like, and I had my fruit lined up, watermelon, cantaloupe, pumpkin, squash, and I literally went, it's a lightweight, easy to use plastic stand you set in your garden to prop your vegetables up off the ground to prevent belly rot. Done. That's all you needed. It was simple. That was all you needed. And so I can't tell you what happened with the rest, because I may have got a deal or may not have got a deal. So I have to wait till it airs. But all I know is I've been really happy, it's been an interesting ride so far. And and you got to remember too, when you go on a show like that, no matter what happens, no matter if you get a deal or not, no matter, okay, say you go on there and they accept, and you take whatever deal they give you, and so now they take 5% of your company. No matter what, no matter if you go the other way, you don't get a deal, and no matter what, I don't know yet. They tell me a week ahead of time, whatever, when it airs. So no matter what happens, say you go the other way and they don't accept a deal for you being on ABC or you being on the show, they take 5%. So no matter what, no matter if you take 50% of your company, or you get a deal, or they don't, and they'd still take 5%. Yeah, that does. Yes, it does. But you also get the exposure of being on the show, and somebody else could pick you up, and okay, like there's a company that bought a little bit of a quick story about another deal happened last year. A company through Intermark. Intermark is a company that is a off of InventHelp. So InventHelp is in Minneapolis, and I went through them to get the patent, get the all the stuff ready to go into business, basically. And so Intermark is basically my lawyers, and they help get companies to, if they go to impact shows and try to get your company or get your product noticed. And so they literally, this guy comes up and says, I want to buy the RotNot, but I don't want to buy the RotNot itself. I want to buy just the licensing rights. So last year, there's a company bought the licensing rights from me, paid me $1,000. It's supposed to be $1,000 a month, and $2,500 a month for the second year. And so, and they wanted to use they didn't want to use the name RotNot. They wanted because they can't, because it's mine. So they named it Melon Saver. And Melon Saver, I sold them $1,000 worth of product, and they put it on Amazon. This is where I got my Amazon idea, but not. I had the idea before, but I didn't have the inventory. So now I have the inventory, so that's why I'm on Amazon. But they got on Amazon and sold it in $1,000 worth of product in less than a month. And I thought, wow, that's really impressive. I thought, well, I could do that. Why can't I do that? And I don't know how much their advertising budget was, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters because that's how Amazon works. But if you want to be on the front page of Amazon, you have each word in an advertising. Say you want to advertise melons, the word melon could be, it's bid on. So say a company that has a $250,000 budget has only, and I have only $10 a month budget or $10 a week budget. I can only do so many, so much per word. So melon, watermelon, cantaloupe, pumpkin, squash, those words, depending on what you want and how you want to advertise it, you have to pay, say, 68 cents. So if somebody types in watermelon, every time somebody types that in, you get charged 68 cents if they click on your product. So, but that, if the product is bid at 68 cents and you bid 69 cents, then your product goes towards the front or on the first page. Right now, if you type in RotNot, mine will be first. If you type in melon cradle or melon holder, there's another product on there that comes up first, and mine is probably towards the bottom of the page or on the second page. It used to be on the 12th page or the 20th page. So it just depends on how you advertise it, and that adds up too. So there's a lot more to just throwing it up on Amazon or throwing it up on SD or throwing it up on eBay than people think. And eBay, I haven't dealt with much of the advertising on that one, but definitely Amazon. And so when you take Amazon and you have so much money to spend, and where it's going to be hard to get it on that first page. But so far now I am on the first page, and if you type in RotNot or even Melon Cradle, the one that's on there, I'm basically in competition with, only can hold up to 8 pounds. Well, as you guys saw last week on my video, I can literally stand on one. There's one video on YouTube, yeah, it's back when I first started. So I should put these videos I'm doing on YouTube, absolutely. It was the very first one. You can find it on there. RotNot on YouTube. Yep. So so if I can stand on one, and I'm a big girl, if I can stand on one, you can hold any watermelon, cantaloupe, pumpkin, squash you have, and this other one that they have on there, melon cradle or whatever. I don't know the exact name of it, but whatever. They can only hold up to 8 pounds. Well, if you do big watermelons, they're more than 8 pounds. So, there's a lot of he has a lot of negative comments on his Amazon page. So, sorry, mine's better. And it design wise it is. I mean, his is only round, and on these, as you can see, I have odd shaped ones, I have rounder shaped ones, and I have oblong ones right here. So I mean, these are just some of the small. There's other pictures that I've done or people have sent me over the years that in their garden. I mean, there's ones. Oh my goodness, this one. Let's see if I can find that one. That one is probably my best one. That is how big it is. It's on a board because otherwise that's going to sink into the mud farther down. I mean, if you got that much weight, anything is going to sink into the mud. But you put a few of them under there, and you put them in, a triangle or however you want to hold it up there. But that right there, I mean, that's a big pump. That's probably almost 200-pound pumpkin, and that holds a lot. But I mean, and there's another one. There's another one. It's one of my favorites too. That's got a few, rot nuts under it as well. But I mean, that's a big pumpkin, and so if you take them and you use, I'll even show you what the other one looks like here, because I'm not afraid of my competition. I will show you because I am not afraid of my competition. That there. Where is it already sitting? It's already almost in the mud. It's already, it's barely propped up there, and once that melon gets even bigger, it's gonna go, right in there. So, and they said, let's look at the reviews on there. Hold on. I don't see where the reviews are. Not on this one. I received an email announcing the sale. I bought some melon squash cradles in August. I would buy two or three. They're $9 for a half dozen, and notice today they're not only on sale. So this one is. They were talking about how much they were on sale, but there's other ones that I'll have to go back and because they have different people selling these things, and that's fine. I wish I could find all the different reviews for it. Not some of these don't, like this one doesn't have reviews yet. But like I said, they only can hold up to 8 pounds. So what's the point of that if your melons are more weight for sure? And there I am, right next to the RotNot, RotNot next to the melon cradles. And like I said, I'm, oh, there she is. Hi. Welcome back there, sleepyhead. What you doing? No, I know you're not sleeping. You barely sleep as it is. My goodness, the girl has so much energy, it's ridiculous. So, anyway, I was just showing that everybody that the competition that I have only can hold up to 8 pounds on theirs, and mine, the video showed last week, I can stand on one. So, it definitely can hold, a lot. So anyway, what else you want to talk about? We are almost wrapped up here on Hold Up Radio. We did this crazy radio show for a month. Oh my goodness, who thought we could talk about the RotNot for a month, huh, kiddo? But I want to be able to tell you that it's RotNot.net is the way to get a hold of me on the main RotNot page. You can find me under Chris Bossy on Facebook, and you can also find me under RotNot on Facebook. I'm on Amazon. I'm on Etsy. I'm on eBay. Most likely, if you I'm trying to figure out where if you're in Minnesota, there's so many different stores that have them. Anywhere from Minneapolis, mostly west though, the west side, considering that's where I was living, on the west side, southwest Minnesota. So they're in Shakopee, they're in Arlington, Gaylord, Norwood, Young America, Hutchinson, definitely Hutchinson. And also you can contact me at rotnot.net or just get them on Amazon. They're going like crazy on Amazon actually. And what else? It's been fun. It's been a fun radio show between Molly and I. She is a crazy woman. Definitely follow her on Facebook, Molly Ann Holt. You can give out your information, Molly, or I'll have it later. We have been a force to be reckoned with. She is a wild child. She has got me. She's my marketing. Marketing manager for sure. She has done an amazing job with publicity manager. Yes. She has done an amazing job putting a PDF for me together. We are doing literally. I'm going to be trying to getting in magazines like Gardener Supply, Burpees, stuff like that. I want to get it out there. We also are going to try to get on the TV. We're working on getting on TV to get it on like Home Shopping Network, Food Network, stuff like that. We're just different ideas. The shop, what did I say? There's another one that she's gonna work on with me to get it on. But we've been, you can go on Star Tribune and Google me there. You can go on care11.com in Minnesota and Google me there. Definitely has been in Belle Plaine Herald down in Belle Plaine, Minnesota. But we're, like I said, now we're getting into here. I'm trying to not necessarily get away from stores, because I love the idea of having them in stores as well. But I'm more looking on, with Molly's help, that's why we're doing the Facebook Live. That's why we're doing, to get it out to more people. I want, like I said, to get it out on TV, on the computer, in stores, everywhere. I want this thing in everybody's home if I could, but I've been, like I said, I've been so blessed, and I love the friends I have that have supported me in all this. I appreciate it. I love you all. It has been a crazy ride, and how I got started, where it's going, where the future is open. Like I said to everybody else earlier, the future, your future is what you make out of it. I mean, you get if you want something bad enough, you'll go definitely after it. I want everybody to step out of the box and, just go after your dreams. Go, if you want something bad enough, go get it. Nobody's going to hand it to you. Nobody's going to give it to you on a silver platter. My mother told me that, and I believed every word of it because it's true. You have to work hard for what you want, and so far I have, and this is the result. This is RotNot is definitely a business I love doing. Never thought in a million years I would invent anything, but I didn't never thought of it. But since then, oh my goodness, since then I have come up with so many different ideas that I go, oh, I wish I could, get that out to market. And I don't ever say nothing to anybody because, like I said, depending on who's listening, it's just, I don't want anybody to, to take the idea, because there's so many different things that go across my head that I go, oh, geez, that'd be so cool. But I don't have the, capital to do it yet. So, like I said, RotNot, when it first started, was, you gotta crawl before you walk. So little things happened here and there, to get it going, and you got to have that support system. You have that, your friends, your family, your husband, your wife. Yeah, I know she is. I know she is. And like I told Alexa one day, I said, Mom, if she was around today, which she passed away this past 3 years ago, July 19th. If she was alive today, she would sit literally in Lowe's in Savannah, Tennessee, and in a lawn chair that she got from the sports section, or the section there, and she would literally sit in a store and go, my daughter invented those. And I know darn well she would. Hi Ron, how you doing? And so he's got RotNots too. I know he does. So I've not seen one picture, Ron, and I'm very upset that you haven't. No, I'm just kidding. Ron is a great friend of mine from the East Coast in Massachusetts, and he's also one of the first ones to get them. And yes, you do. And so he's been with me from day one as well. He got them, I don't even know, 2011 or 12, I think you got the first ones. And so yeah, they're out in the Massachusetts area. So now, like I said, with the Amazon, they have literally gone around the country, and I love that. I love different parts that are getting them, and like I said, it's just a trickle-down effect now. I mean, people are going to see them in different parts, and they're going to go, where'd you get them? And I love that idea. I love that, you tell two people, and so on, and that's great. So, so this has been Holt Up Radio, Molly Ann Holt, and it has been a pleasure. We are done here for this week, and I have a lot of rock to move. As you saw earlier, I have tons of rock to move to get my new driveway done, so we can eventually be building our house down at the other end of our property. Oh, crazy. So I thank you. I appreciate all you guys have been listening on here in the last month of doing this radio show with Molly. We will get it. We'll definitely get it on YouTube as well. All the different videos, stuff like that I've done over the last month, and even then some. Even the ones I've done before I started this radio show with Molly, and get it out on YouTube too. Like I said before, you can find me on Amazon. You can find me on Facebook, both under my Chris Bossy and RotNot. We are on SD. Oh, here's I was talking about that picture earlier. Right on the front page, we sell RotNots, and like I said, you put that up, and for a business, for the business people that are listening to this later, thanks, Ron. For the business people later that would want to put them in stores, it's like I said, it's a great advertising, because people don't know necessarily what a RotNot is, and if you get people in your store, people driving by will go, "What's the heck's RotNot? I want that. I want one of those," or maybe they don't, but it gets them in the store, and if they do, well, they're there to buy dirt anyway, and if they don't, well, they're there to buy dirt anyway, or seeds or a gardening tool or whatever. So that gets them in the store. It draws them in for their curiosity all in itself, and then all the colors they get. We got green, purple, pink, orange, yellow, and blue. So it just brightens up your garden. Like I said, we started off with the orange, yellow, and blue. Then people wanted it to be a little bit of a darker color to blend with their garden, so I did a little lighter purple, the green for sure. Like I said, the holes in the top, let the rain go through, and you can see just a little bit of a dip there. It will hold any watermelon you have. Like I said, I literally stood on one just last week in the video, so it will hold a lot. And so it's got the rain, holes in the top, let the rain go through, holes in the sides to let the air go through, keeping the melon dry off the dirt, and there's no more that flat yucky side in the bottom. It tastes better. It improves the quality of the fruit, and it improves the yield in your garden. So everything that you're putting in there is not wasted. And I can't stand you put a garden together and you take so much time to put it together, and time and effort, and you don't want it wasted. And the first year I wasted because of I didn't know I was supposed to turn them. I didn't know I was supposed to be out there, and then when it rains so much in Minnesota, and definitely here in Oregon, I don't know how weather is there in Massachusetts, Ron, but I'm sure it rains quite a bit, and so you got to get them up off the ground. And so instead of sitting in the mud, sitting in the dirt, and next thing you know they're wasted, and it's like it's so frustrating. So trust me, this invention is made and thought of out of pure frustration, and I love it. Now they are going amazing, like I said, on Amazon. So alright, well, like I said, we are done here. I appreciate all that have listened. Yeah, it definitely helps keep the grubs off, absolutely. That's one thing that the other one said that they still have a problem with, so till they can figure that out, mine have definitely been a better, well-made product, but that's just my opinion, of course. What I like about it in the house, I'll quick tell you that when you put them in the house, if you put a tomato on your countertop, on your set it on the countertop when you get home from the store, even you set it down, and that soft side starts right away because there's no airflow. Even it doesn't matter if they're from the garden, doesn't matter if they're from the store, getting them off season or whatever. You set a soft-sided melon or tomato on the counter. Oh, okay. It's you set it on the counter, it's gonna start to rot, and you can't have you're gonna end up with fruit flies. Hi Troy, how you doing? I know he's yeah, I think he's got RotNots too. I'm not 100%. I thought you did though. So anyway, you start getting fruit flies. I hate fruit flies. I can't stand bugs in my house, and so bugs should be outside, far as I'm concerned. But I'm just saying, you set the tomato, like I said, you set the tomato on here, and either some people set them on the windowsill or their deck railing. They're not ripe enough yet or whatever. They get a little more sun. Set them on here, because even on the deck railing, if you forget them, they're going to stain the deck railing. on the counter, they're just gonna get soft and mushy, and then next thing you know, you're gonna have fruit flies. And if you set them on here, a little bit of a dip, you get in the holes in the top and the side will let the air flow, and it'll last longer. And, you can do that with any of the fruit, or veggies. Cantaloupe, watermelon, pumpkin, squash, tomatoes. I'll even set my bananas on them, only because even though they're a thicker outside, it just still helps them, up off the counter. So not saying that they'll, last forever, but they definitely will last longer. They'll definitely have a better, I'll say, shelf life. And like I said, you can use them this way, like I showed you earlier, for anything. A candy dish, to use to rinse strawberries, blueberries, grapes, any kind of smaller fruit that you have, and just rinse them. And here, instead of getting the colander out and put the kids' bath toys in them, it's amazing since I originally thought of this just for the garden, literally what people have sent me to use, use it for. I mean, somebody said they use it for their sewing trinkets so they don't roll off the table. That's brilliant. I don't sew, but that's absolutely brilliant. I flipped this one over just now to show you, but I usually have, like I showed earlier, I have the pens. I literally have my phone holder. I have my phone holder there, that I have it propped up on my desk. I have my square in there. I mean, I have pens in there, so they're not messing. Everything's straightened up around the desk, and so I dumped it out only to show you. But I use it. We're trying to get them for the Food Network people to see the different varieties of things you can put in them, like put a parchment paper in there and use them at for fries, or onion rings, or a hamburger and fries. I had pictures of corn dog and fries, and the dipping sauce. You could use for the salt and pepper shaker, the ketchup and mustard in a restaurant. Put them in here. I mean, so many different things you could use, the ideas for. And if you do, like I said before, if you have ideas out there, just send, take a picture of it, send it to me. I'll put it on my Facebook, in your garden, in your house, whatever you're gonna use them for. Just, I love the ideas. I love all the different ideas people come up with. And like I said, I'll definitely give them credit where credit is due, and I'll, yeah, absolutely, yeah, YouTube, yeah, I love it. Great plan. We're gonna do videos there too. I'll add these videos that I did last week and the week before on YouTube. And so, we said, how did it happen again, Molly? We said we'd do an hour today, and look, we did an hour and a half. It's just, we're crazy. We're crazy. I seriously talk about this so much, it's insane. I don't know where we're going next week. I don't know what the radio show has planned. This is Molly Ann Holt, my partner in crime. Yes, I know, live soon. I hope so. I want to be able to do both of us together, and we're going to figure that out. How to do both of us live talking on here, and I can't wait. I would love to do a radio show with her, only because okay, we got news. I love when she has news. We are crazy. I met Molly back in 2014 on her radio show that she was doing in Texas, and a friend of mine suggested that I talk about it, and so we went. I called the radio show, and we talked about, she was doing businesses and entrepreneurism and stuff like that. Just get to the live. Oh, awesome! Hey, can't wait. So I met her again on her radio show that she did. And so we, the next day she wanted to talk about it for some more, and so we literally talked about it for 3 hours. I thought, oh my goodness, who can talk about the RotNot for 3 hours? But we didn't just do the RotNot. We did, oh my goodness, we talked about everything, politics, just life, just everything. We talked about business. We talked about weather. We did everything. We talked about all kinds of things. So we want to do that again. We actually want to do an actual radio show for Facebook and maybe other places. Who knows? Who knows where it could lead? And I can't wait. This woman has so much energy. It's insane. She has a great work ethic, and has been now. I hired her as my publicity manager. And so she is a spitfire of a girl from Texas, and I can't wait. Yes, something, and we definitely provide that. Some of the things we can talk about. Woo! So again, this is Holt Up Radio. We are done here for today. We are gonna close out the show. Maybe Molly can do some music, who knows, or just whatever. We're gonna do whatever. She's gonna close up. She's gonna talk after I'm done. So look up her live thing on my Holt Up Radio show too. So Molly Ann Holt host. Yes, I know. Yeah, I know I shouldn't do live only because I swear a lot since being a trucker. But so far I haven't. So I may have said one word, but that wasn't bad. I know when to, I know when not to use it, let's say. But yes, it's definitely probably not a good idea for me to go live, but maybe there'd be a slight delay. But I've been working on my swearing. I've been working on it. So Mama would be proud. Swearing is okay. Well, if I would have known that, girl, I would have spiced this thing up a long time ago. Oh, okay. Ask for forgiveness. No, seriously, I'm not truck driving anymore, so I don't swear as often as I used to. Like I said, but yes, I would definitely need to ask for forgiveness if you got a hold of me during my, back in the day, so, or on a normal day. Follow me around and see what you get. And so I'd be asking for forgiveness all the time. So anyway, this is Chris Bossy again for Holt Up Radio. Molly's going to be back in a little bit to finish out the show. So goodbye. Thank you everybody for joining in, and it's been a lot of fun. It really has. I appreciate all of you. Again, find me on Amazon, Etsy, eBay. If you don't have me on RotNot page yet, definitely go to my RotNot page and like that. And goodbye. I'll talk to you next time. See you next week. All right. Bye.